Welcome back to the Reset, episode 48. Pressure is a real privilege. I saw this written on someone's t-shirt last Sunday at the farmer's market that I go to. It said, pressure is privilege. And I thought to myself, that's fantastic. And it's so true because later that afternoon I was working with my friend on rebuilding my website and relaunching it. And I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, wow. It's only under those times of real pressure that you decide what comes from it based on the amount of work that you put into the input. And not necessarily, this is the fun part. It's not just the sheer amount of work. Because if it was just labor work, right? Then maybe you can go and dig a hole with a pitchfork or a shovel. Or maybe you can go and dig the same amount of, same depth of holes, except 100 times more with the right piece of equipment, the right tool for the right job. And when we go through these times of really intense pressure, and I'm just thinking back to the fight that I had in the octagon, there was a huge amount of pressure, but the most amount of pressure was me putting it on myself that I needed to force an outcome. Like, I wanted to win, but if you've seen the video, you know I clearly lost because I was unprepared. Right, it wasn't that I was training unprepared. It was that I wasn't ready for the adrenaline dump, meaning fight, flight, freeze. I froze mostly. And given that there was maybe a skill difference between my competitor, that aside, it's purely looking at me for me. And this might relate to you in your work pressure, your financial pressure. This could be even relationship pressure. You feel this mounting pressure that's coming from somewhere. And most of the time it's created by you. Like, outside situations can make it larger. They can have an impact on the volume, but you are the one who has the amplifier. You are the amplifier. So remember, you're the one who has the controller. It's very hard in those moments though, because these are testing moments, right? When you're under such immense pressure that either you work it out or you let the pressure get to you. You problem solve, or you let it crush you. And the thing that I've learned, and this might be helpful for you, so tune in, is it almost doesn't matter what action you take, so long as you do take an action. And it's how quickly you can pivot into changing your behavior in that moment. Because a thought is also an action, right? And if you think you can't, then you won't. If you think you can, then you will. But it's not as simple as just ruminating in the thoughts. Often that will help take the behavioral action that needs to be taken, or take the movement that needs to happen. But it's just getting the body moving. I guess you have to ask yourself, what is actually smarter? Is the evolution and intelligence in your body smarter than you in your mind? Or is your mind smarter than your body and the intelligence of your body? One comes from millions of years of evolution. It didn't just happen by chance. It might have. But I guess the question is, how do you still have your great, great, great grandfather or grandmother's nose? Right? There's a form of memory or intelligence that's playing out far more than what we can even imagine with our mind. And so to me, that makes a lot more sense, that our mind is only a tool. It's not the full picture. Our body is only a tool too. And it's when we have both working on the same wavelength. Oftentimes this means that you have to slow down to take more information in. Or maybe speed up. You need to activate and excite yourself. To get your body moving, oftentimes you need to excite yourself. To let your mind really slow down to take in all of the information, you need your body to stop. You need it to stop moving. And only when your body is actually still can you figure out your next move. And I guess this now opens up a new question of, if you're not able to rest properly, if you're not able to sleep properly, because your body can't actually stay still, then it's no wonder you can't actually get out of that survival mechanism. You can't get out of that surviving mindset. And if I think about the base of my spine right now, this is a very common issue for a lot of people. I know that. I got an L4 and L5 prolapse, which means that the nerves are very tight. They're very constricted, right? So it's very hard for me to lay down, and it probably is for you too, and actually find a comfortable position where you can get really still. And I'm fine when I'm sitting upright, but recently in the last couple of weeks or whatever, it's been really hard to just sit upright in that meditative posture and actually let the information come to me. It's been really hard to get my legs into that posture because there's just so much pain. My body actually won't let me, or maybe it's my mind that won't let me. Right? But I see it as my body's not able to become relaxed enough to let the mind and the body work together. I guess this brings me to the next stage of, what do you do with all this, right? If one part of me needs activating and the other part of me needs to become still, what do I do? Because there's equal and opposite truths in both situations. So I had a great question from CrossFit Games winner in 2008, Jason Khalipa, last week on a phone call. He said, what would you do differently if you could go back in the cage? I said, I would punch him first, because I was focusing on stilling myself. I was trying to calm my nerves. I was trying to get into my body without being too excited, which is, in contrast, in reflection, probably going the other way would have been more helpful. Because when you're getting ready to fight, guess what? You probably should be a bit excited. Yes, you can still see all the fear. You can still be with all of that. That's fine. But it's knowing which state to get into and why. And when is more important than actually asking why. Because whatever's presenting for you, if you're a high performer and you've got a meeting coming up, or you've got to make some really big decisions in your marriage or work agreement or business or whatever it is, which one do you choose? Is it slowing down or speeding up? I think for most people who are listening, they're probably caffeine drinkers, aka coffee drinkers. And if you're not, please make sure you say I'm not a coffee drinker, because I want to get to know more about the audience who's listening and watching. The reason why I say that is I feel like I'm addicted to coffee because I love the excitation. I love the being wound up and being excited and performing and running straight towards the target. But I know that that has a fine line. It's like looking at confidence and clarity and calling them the same thing. No, confidence comes from somewhere in the mind. It's usually knowing or acknowledging a fear and just doing it anyway. Clarity is when you can see things with you can see the absolute truth of what's happening. You can just see it for the way that it is. And there's no such thing as being fearful. That's just what it is. So the invite, and what I would love to invite you to do, is look at those areas of your life right now and ask yourself the question, am I running away from something? Is there something that I've been yearning to do, but I haven't actually done yet? How long have I put that project off that I said I was going to do a long time ago? It's not about asking why you haven't done it. It's about asking when are you going to do it? And when you sit there for long enough, maybe, just maybe, you will take one step in that direction, because that's all it takes. So make that decision, take that step, and if you found today's episode helpful, share it with one person. That's all I ask. It allows us to grow organically and allows this message to get out to more people. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's episode.